Welcome to Scotty's Allotment Adventures. This is a wee video in my back garden. Last night we had Storm Katie and it absolutely flooded one of my raised beds. Well, I finally managed to drain it, and then I went out and got some compost, and I decided to top it up with compost. It's already got manure as a base, plus cardboard, plus straw underneath the cardboard, so it's all healthy. And all I've done, I've gone ahead and sped up the video so that you don't get bored waiting for things to happen. Enjoy. Well, I'd originally planned to use Groshaw, but B&Q had run out a bit over the weekend, so I bought some Verve in the 125 litre sacks. The idea was to first of all fill up the bed that got flooded, which is this one, and then I decided to do all the other beds as well. So the bed next to it has already been pre-prepared with manure and compost, and the other bed is going to be used for my corn and beans. Now next to that there's a potato bucket which I decided to top up, and then went back and put the rest of the Verve onto these two beds and levelled them out. I then tamped them down with the rake so that I can actually make them a nice firm bed for growing my brassicas in. So I intend to have cauliflowers, broccoli and cabbages in these two beds. We're not going to get a lot of each, but it's going to be enough for a small family. And of course we've got to go to the allotment as well, where I'll be growing some other stuff. And I'll be stamping that down. Now have a quick look here. This is my strawberry patch, and there's lots of new growth coming through, so spring is definitely here. There's a nice bright one there, and there's quite a few underneath the other ones, so I'll be taking the dead leaves off those soon and letting that reap the benefits of the sunshine. Unfortunately, some things had to go at my rhubarb, and I've got the slug gone down there, which has been good at keeping them at bay, but I've got a feeling they've been coming up the outside of the barrel, so I'm going to have to do something there. And the other good news, I suppose, is on the opposite side of the barrel. My Timperley Early, which was showing very small, slow signs of growth, is now suddenly shooting up, and there's even a new little green shoot to the right hand side of that one, so it looks like it might come on quite strong very shortly, so I'm happy about that. Now if we have a look over here, this is the bed that's going to have my corn. I'm putting the corn in buckets. They're 12-inch buckets that I get from, did I say 12-inch? They're 10-inch buckets that I get from the co-op, the ones they have their cut flowers in. And I'm going to sink them into the soil, or build the soil up round the bottom of the buckets, and then plant my Blue Lake climbing beans, and hopefully they will climb up the stems of the corn. They'll get plenty of nutrients from inside the soil because there is some real goodness underneath that compost. I've got manure, I've got kitchen waste, plus the compost itself, and cardboard and straw, so it's a layered lasagna type bed, so I'm expecting good things. This is how it's going to look when it's done. The pots are going to be slightly deeper into the soil, but that's generally the idea. The beans along the outside, and I thought possibly if I bring the pots a little bit closer together, I might be able to get away with a few beetroot in there as well. I'll see how it goes. That isn't part of the plan yet. These are just different angles of the pots, just to give an idea of how it looks from different parts of the garden. And now a quick glance around the garden. There's my climbing rose, and if we go across to the other side, we've got a standard rose which is rooted nicely from a cutting. And don't forget we're at double speed here, so everything's going to be flying around. Just showing a quick glance of all my daffodils, and my pots all nicely lined up now. I'm going to put a fence down this side of the garden to make it secure for Marley, and also a fence down this side as well. There he is laying on the path the other side of my tripod. He's a good lad really. Couldn't ask for better company. And I'm going to have a quick look at Marley. Hello boy. And then we're going to go and whip round to the poly greenhouse. Watch it, son. And then we'll have a look at the carrots and all the other stuff that I've got growing in there. Well, the first thing we're going to look at is the carrot challenge. These are the carrots I planted in a 12-inch pot for the carrot challenge, and as you can see they're starting to sprout, which is good news, because I think everybody else is way ahead of me on this one. Well, there we go, I can see at least half a dozen. I don't know if the camera's picking them all up, but that's a good sign. On the other side of the poly greenhouse, well, on the same side, on the other side of it towards the door, is my leeks and onions growing in cardboard tubes from blue rolls and kitchen towels. The onions have taken completely well, but I've got two missing on the leeks. Well, no, it's two missing leeks there, so they're going to be replanted, and hopefully I'll get them into the poly greenhouse over at the allotment. That should be in the next week or so, and then I'll try and get them into the ground very soon, because obviously I want them out so they've got a chance to grow. On the opposite side of the greenhouse we've got peas, loads of peas. Look, the empty slots did mature because they're in the thing below, and they're growing quite well. I've got 6 there, and they're really ready to go out now. And in there was one of my pots that I sowed in February of my carrots. These are Nantes, so they're a short carrot. I'm not into competitions for carrots, but there you go, that's it for now. Okay, look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye.